How did you get into football?
Football, that's another interesting thing. I have been House of Folk since infancy. And
your great grandfather was in.
That time, you know,
he was not even there.
But no. House of Folk is older than my father.
Okay.
But not older than my grandfather.
That's what
and my great grandfather and my great great grandfather. They were in the 18-something. House of Folk was 1911.
1911, yes.
Recently. You say, how did I get into House of Folk? That's what I was.
Football in general.
It was quite an easy thing. Now, after I was released from detention, I left the country for about 4 or 5 years. Well, I didn't want to get involved with anything at all. During rolling so I left the country. I came back.
Did you run away or something?
Oh, I won't call it run away. I left to go and practice my profession. You follow me? Yeah, because things were in a state of confusion and all sort of things. Then, after 4 or 5 years, I came back. And House of Folk was then on his knees. We were being defeated left, right, center. So then the elderly people in the club, people like H.P. Nyamite, Tommy Thompson, Kwesi Asante Sachi, Dr. Kweno, Alaji, Tijani. Yeah. These were big people in the club. The Ambassador Secretary, you can't mention them. House of Folk has always been with big men. So one day, I was then staying at cantonments. I said, oh, I haven't had tilapia for a long time, so I'm going to buy tilapia. You asked me how I got into it. Yes. So I drove from, I think it was a Saturday or so. I drove to the old and first fire service station near Mokola.
Oh, okay.
When I got there, the fish has not been brought, you know. The women were not there. So I said, well, let me go to Tudu and Adabraka. The road continues.
Yes.
Because this is a place I've not been for years, even though I've lived in Adabraka before. Myself and Akufado, we all live in Adabraka on the Castle Road, you know. Now, when I got to House of Folk old office at Tudu, it was a small little place. I saw our bus, an old bus, parked in front.
Those days?
Yeah, those days, parked in front of a certain bank is there on the left side. Then there was a lineup of gentlemen on by a wall. Then somebody shouted my name, so I stopped. One of the big men saw me and he called me. So I parked my car and I joined them. And then I asked them, oh, what are they doing here? They say, we are waiting for the footballers to come. They are waiting for players to come, to travel to Kumasi to play Asante Kotoko. Can you believe it?
It is how the bosses waiting for the players, not the players waiting for the bosses.
Absolutely. They have sent people to go and call players from their various homes. It's unbelievable, but it happened. So I was surprised. So I have to join them. So we're there sitting down. Then I remember very well, Alaji Has, may he rest in peace. Alaji Has came and said, sir, I went to this man, he saw me, he disappeared. I went to this man, I couldn't get down. In short, no discipline. Finally, they had just about, they couldn't even make, I think about 13 players or so. And they are going to play Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Then whilst we were discussing this issue, the driver came. The driver of the bus, a rickety bus. It was a Leyland bus, some of the huge Leyland buses. And then he said, there's no fuel in the in the vehicle. Oh, so we have to contribute. Very. My money I have for my tilapia, I have to put it inside.
So, for me, that was your first investment into House of Oak.
And it was so interesting. Then finally they went to Kumasi and we had a draw. Believe me, the following day, HP Nyemite, a big boss, big man House of Oak, and in Ghana football, I think he was the longest serving GFA president apart from Kwesi Nyantechi.
Yeah.
He came to my house, the old man himself, with gray hair, nice looking man. I said, now, Mintabo means I want you.
Yeah.
So I came out, got into his car, we drove to his house at Labone. I said, look, you'll be following me now anywhere I'm going to. In football.
More off. You've not become his handbag.
I will hold his handbag. Then we had a match. There was a match between Okwawu United and Kotoko. I said, it was scary. For a long time, I have not watched a match. The stadium was fully packed, including the presidential box. Then the presidential box was just a small place, you know. And Okwawu defeated Kotoko. Come and see. You should come and see with your eyes at that time. Football fanatics. It was too dangerous. Then after that, there was another match. Then I started assisting him to some of the training grounds and whatnot. By then, we were training at Legon here.
Oh, okay.
And I remember Professor Tamils was then a professor at Legon. So he used to come to watch the match. But he's also a House of Oak person. Then we were going to play a match, one of these Africa Cup of these matches,
CAF competition.
CAF or whatever it was. And we had our training at Legon. Then surprisingly, after that, he asked me, how do I find the boys? I said, oh, I think they are fairly well. They are fairly well. And the coach was there, but the members of the board, they will come out with the players. They will tell you, you are playing, you are not playing. Maybe the coach comes out with a list, they will have a look at it carefully first. Well, they control the club. Then the team was put in place, and the leader for our trip was Totobi Kwachi.
Totobi Kwachi.
Totobi Kwachi, who later became National Security Advisor to Rawlings.
Oh, okay. He was
then I think a minister of information or something. I've forgotten exactly. It's years ago now. So Totobi accompanied the boys to Zambia. We are going to play Zambia and Ghana Red Devils.
Oh, okay. In fact, even recently they came and played Korago.
So we went there. I didn't go. Toby went with the boys there, and we were able to have, I think, a draw. So naturally, if we come back, we have to play our hearts out to defeat them. That match, I was there with Nyemite and the big men. And we had an opportunity, and we threw it away.
You lost. So
we were kicked out of the competition. It was then that I noticed the temperament of supporters. I always say I have known supporters for years. So somebody came and whispered into Nyemite's ears. And Nyemite also passed a message over to the others. Then I followed them, and we left the place and went to the residence of Kwesi Asante Sechi, who incidentally, his son is my direct cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We married my aunt. Whose picture is this one? This one.
Oh, okay.
The lady
okay.
there.
Yeah, okay.
Now, when we went there, all the giants of House of Wu were there, including Atu Ahoyi. Atu, you know Atu Ahoyi?
Yeah, former GMPC boss.
Yeah, Atu Ahoyi. Totobi was there. There's a gentleman who, but he has died. They were all then young men. He has died. Atu Austin. A gentleman by the name Atu Austin. Very nice guy. And others, I can't call all of them now. Including Alhaji Haas. We're all there. Alhaji Tijani, everybody. Now, then they announced that club will be handed over to one Mr. Lawrence Ajedu. May he rest in peace. A gentleman. He was a banker by profession.
Oh, okay.
Now Ajedu stood up and said, "Gentlemen, I can do anything for House of Wu, but chairman of the club, no."
He was afraid of the supporters?
The responsibility and the rowdiness of supporters and other things. By then, clubs are, if you are running a club, the money comes from your own pocket.
Yes.
You the head.
Oh, okay. He was also afraid of his pocket.
Of course, yes. So, when he said that, everybody was quiet. Then all of a sudden, one of the radical leaders, who was a big man there too, Tommy Thompson got us there. Nyaho, you are now in charge of the club. Just like that. Oh. So I thought he was joking. In less than an hour, it had been announced. And that was that.
You took over?
I took over. But I told them, now I will come in with my so-called twinkle, twinkle, little stars. How I brought Shamukwe and others, and they became stars. Now,
The musical youth.
the musical youth. Then I quickly decided that the first thing I must do is to find out why the team is really on its knees. And I noticed that they have been taking monies. So they play fixed matches.
So fixed matches, they've been in the system for a very long time.
You see, what shocked me was that the person who had been giving the money, who was a board member of Asante Kotoko, a good friend of mine, I was at home with two officers, two people, General Eskin and one Mr. Odoi Size. When they came to me and thanked me, he said, "You have done the right thing. I have been giving the money to your boys whenever we are playing them." So he congratulated me for being able to dictate that, because I told the old man that I will, the moment I get the problem, what we call a medicine diagnosis, the right diagnosis, that's what the solution is, no problem. So when I got to know those who have been indulging in that, there were about 23 players. I sacked all of them. Just sacked. And already had these young boys. Shamukwe, Abladekuma, Anyete Sowa, Ezekiel Alamu, Ajoda, this goalkeeper, I forgot his in the States, and they are now big men. In fact, one of them called me 2 weeks ago from America. You follow me? They were little boys, average age, I say about 15. So I quickly got in touch with a staff sergeant from Burma camp, a physical instructor, and built them up. They were not touching football at all. We were running on the beach every day. You have to build them up.
Yeah, to be able to play.
Before they started.
And have the energy.
Exactly. Now, the first time we were going to have training, the coach failed to turn up.
Who was the coach then?
His name was
Is it
Ajay Pele.
Oh, okay.
Ajay Pele was the
I
name.
don't know. There was one coach also something. I forgot. Is it Coach Kobina or something? I don't know. In fact.
No, Kobna took over finally.
Oh, okay.
And he did a good job.
Oh,
Kobna
okay.
was recommended to me by Inspector General C.K. Dewonu,
Oh, okay.
who is among the top people in the club. I remember, but then he was Inspector General. He recommended Kobna to me.
Yeah.
And he was cautious because Kobna was an Olympics man. You follow me?
So the level of Olympics has been there for very long time.
It has always been interesting. Always is an Olympics either player or coach who have been making it possible for us to win matches, not locally but even internationally.
Wow.
You know Jones Atuku with you.
Yeah.
You know how far it
Oh,
took.
yes.
He was an Olympics man. You follow me. And Kobna did wonderfully well for us. You see. So it was from there that I handled the club. We were going up and down. And then the coup attempt came in and I was taken off. Straight to someone. So
wow.
That's the connection there. And after that, but when I had that position, I was made immediately a member of the board, and also chairman of the club. I went through that, left, came back again. As I think this is the third time I've been board a member.
I heard you threatened one of your coaches, Jay Sapon. What happened?
Oh, Sabo. Is he around?
He's around. He's around. I hear you threatened him with a gun.
Oh, yes, I did. Sapon, I had information that he is trying to fix a match so that we lose. I was informed. And I went to the park, pulled a gun on him. I used to go to the park with gun. And either he ran away, I don't even know what happened. But I was called by in fact, he reported to the police. The police came to my house. I told them I had a gun. So they came to my house in Cantonment, had a look, and I showed them. I had a paper on that. So they invited me to the police station. It was Kaneshi police station.
Yeah.
By then the police didn't know I have a military background.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So before I handed the gun over to them, I quickly removed the magazine and then unclocked it. Okay, then the policeman said, it was the commander at that time, I forgot the name. He said, it seems you know much about guns. I said, I'm a soldier. I said, oh.
Oh, okay.
But Sabo is right. I put a gun on him. He's damn right. I haven't seen what you say.
I was meant to understand that anytime you went for training, even players were afraid that you had a chair, you go and be lying down on the chair, and they are training, you are looking at them.
No, I sit on the chair. I come with two Alsatian dogs. But if you don't do that, you can't control them. I come to the park, and House of Hope Park was then opposite National Lotteries. It was a gravel disease.
Yes.
Gravel, not this.
In fact, even as recent as 2004, they were still training around that area. I remember because I've watched them train there before.
And because some of them had their favorites, whom I have sacked, and among those that I sacked were my own two nephews, Heso Dampton and Sansimilapti. I sacked them. You understand what I'm saying? I sacked them.
So how do you feel? I'll come to you becoming GFA chairman. But how do you feel when people talk about match fixing in Ghana football, and even start the example of House of Folk oftentimes trying to fix matches with other clubs?
You see,
because this was something you tried to weed out of the system.
Yes, I tried, and to some extent, I think it went down. But the sort of behavior we have now with players is unfortunate. You see, the players forget that those handling them, for instance, let's take President Hasselhoff. The club is, I think, is now 100 and something years.
Yes, about 111.
111 or so.
Yeah, 111, 112.
When we took over as board, we didn't even have a playing field we can call our own. Then years passed. Toby Afede became the chairman
of the club.
The chairman of the board of directors.
Oh, okay.
Where I was a member. I'm still a member.
Yes.
And you see, when you have a leader with a vision, then you know you can get somewhere. This man is not here and I'm saying it. He's not my age group. I can tell him what I think. And he knows that. But the man has a vision in anything that he does. So he came out with ideas. We need a commercial center. Like a joke, we saw one. Yeah, we went negotiated, we bought it. It's Hearts of Folks property. It's there in Nadaraka.
I've been there. Mm-hmm.
It belongs to us. Yes. Then we realize we go to train at Legon. When you look at the amount of money we pay, so much. Our Queen's College, the same. Anyway. Then the idea came that we had a park at Bobeman.
Yes.
Which has been there
for many years.
Huge hectares of land. Acres of land, which has not been used. We went there, renegotiated with the chiefs. We now paid proper money for them and bought the land. And then we started planning how to set up an academy. Go there now and see. From here you can go there. You'll be shocked what you see. Now we have our own 4 pitches. 3 grass ones and 1 astroturf. First class astroturf. I don't think there's any astroturf in Ghana that can come close to it. Go and see the sort of buildings that have been put up, springing there. A tennis court, volleyball court, a golf course, swimming pool, and the boys are there. Now, as I talk to them, they are there. Yeah, even the instructors live there too. So we set up an academy. Nowhere, nobody, anywhere in West Africa has got such a thing. And you have to see the beauty of it. Go there now when you see. You'll be shocked.
But Doc, there are other people who would tell you that, yes, you're talking success off the pitch. But it's on the pitch that translates to off the pitch. Because it is what people see on the pitch.
I can assure you that this particular season, what you see from our players, I'm telling you.
Doc, we've heard this one many times.
Oh, but I am now showing you.
We've heard this one many times.
Not from me. But I'm now telling you.
So would you say that the flotation of shares has been good for Hearts of Oak? Because there are many people who will tell you that the success of Hearts of Oak was chalked when everyone felt a part of the family of Hearts of Oak. But these days, people feel that Hearts of Oak now belong to certain individuals and not for everyone.
No, it shares.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Certain individuals, those who hold shares.
Now listen, take Manchester United in Britain, take Chelsea, take Liverpool. It shares. There are limited liabilities. People buy shares from them. The person who has the big money is the one who controls the club. Anywhere in the world. So what's their problem? If you want to own the club, recently I told the supporters leaders here in this house that I will wish they will get the money to come and buy shares that will beat
the current executive board chairman.
The current shareholder, the highest shareholder. That's a Toby Afede. That day, if they can do it, they should do it. It's not anything difficult. If they claim we are over 6 million, even 1 cedi each.
That's 6 million Ghana cedis.
Yes. You follow me? You see, supporters and no support, they criticize when it's not necessary. I know footballers can at times really also annoy you, but your supporters, you should support financially. Then we know you are supported.
What made House of Folk very successful, especially in the early 2000s, 2001, all the way up to 2004, because you had won the league back to back before Kotoko won it in 2004. What made House of Folk so successful within that time?
Yeah, devotion. The boys were loyal to the club.
These days they are not loyal?
No. And we have now won them. We have won them. The moment you show a sign of disrespect or a sign of what do you call it, betrayal, you'll be sacked.
How many years have you been at House of Folk?
Oh, I can't count. I told you.
So why are you still there? Because if you're there for a very long time, you're still there. Why?
I grew up with it. The point is, even being active now in the club is as far back as 19 when did I go to? Early 80s. I
Wow.
Say. That's years ago.
If it's early 80s, that's like over 40 years.
Yes, oh yeah, early 80s. So
and you're still there, strong and going. So why are you still there now?
I am. Can't you see what I'm wearing?
I can see the rainbow colors.
Yeah, nobody has it. The day they will see me with it at the stadium, then you should know that day House is really going to perform wonders.
So why are you still there now?
So it's my club. You also look. You know this.
You can't
man.
retire from the club.
You know Sir Alf.
Yeah.
From Manchester United.
Yeah.
Why is he still there at his age? At his age.
That is a good one. That's a good one. But when you were at House of Oak, you also became a chairman of the FA. Though that was a bit brief. Talk to us about being the chairman of the Ghana Football Association.
That's another interesting issue. Chairman, I was given the position by President Kufuor. And when I got in there, I noticed there's a lot of rot. And I remember when my predecessor was leaving, that's this man. Oh, he's
the late
passed on.
The late Jaula.
No, Jawula. We came after Jawula. Kofi, Ben Kofi.
Ben Kofi, okay.
When Ben Kofi was leaving, he said, "Dog, you are getting into a snake pit and try to survive." This is what he told me. And I said, "I'll be in there and I'll survive. And the snakes will run away." And he started laughing. The first thing I noticed, they then had the so-called executive committee or whatever. I think they still have it.
Yeah, but they've just
But then
the executive
it
council.
was made up of a lot of people. And these people will take glory when we win matches. But when we lose matches, I'm talking about Black Stars.
Yes.
Then every head is in trouble.
It is still the same thing now.
The same thing.
Yes.
Now, my deputy then was Kwesi Nyantechi.
Yes.
But a hard-working chap. I really like him a lot. And then Fred Papu.
Yeah.
These are hard-working boys. Then whether things were going on well, then I came out with a suggestion. I wrote a memo for the minister. The minister was then Kojo Banredu, another excellent person. And somebody leaked the memo. And the whole idea was, I wanted those people there to be cleared, you can only clear them through elections. So I brought that idea of elections. Even though I was sent there on appointment.
On appointment.
I sent it to FIFA. First to CAF and then to FIFA. Then they started all sort of things.
Those who were there, were they doing something wrong? That's why you wanted
a
them
lot.
out?
A lot. I can't enumerate them. Even now they are complaining about what is going on there. A lot. A lot. All sort of freebies and all sort of things that they get there.
So why did you resign then?
I'm coming.
Yes.
So they planned, when they got hold of the memo and they knew what I had in mind, they planned to impeach me.
Yes, I remember Kojo Yanka, was it Joe Apia, saying that they will uproot you like cassava?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I haven't seen Apia. Is he around?
Yeah, he is.
Say hello to him. So I took them to court. And the first round, I defeated them. Then I was alarmed by somebody that they are going to see the judge. At that time, and lo and behold, the second case, the judge twisted it. From the court, I came straight to the clinic, wrote my resignation letter, and sent it to the minister. I had a response to my resignation letter from this lady, Madam. It was signed by this lady. She was a journalist before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's a well-known person. I don't know why I always forget her name. Elizabeth Ohini.
Oh, okay. She once served as a deputy education minister or something.
Yes. So the response came from the Ministry of Education. But we were there on the education. Thank me, blah, blah, blah. So I resigned on principle. They couldn't believe it. Then BBC called Yaosafo Manfo. He said, you can ask him. They said, oh, we are friends. I have not resigned. We are friends. It's just a slight misunderstanding. Then BBC called me. I told BBC I have resigned.
Yeah, live on radio.
That's what you heard on the air.
Live on radio.
Yeah. And I resigned.
But if you wanted to ensure the right things were done.
I'm coming. One thing that also is bringing us back in this country, we don't have the culture of resignation. Believe me, I'm telling you, if we had a culture of resignation like some of these whites do, most people might have left government by now. But if you know you can't perform, take your pen and leave.
Is walking away the solution?
Walking away?
Yes.
Walking away cannot be the solution.
Then that's why they are there. That's why they keep still.
It cannot be the solution, but it shows how conscientious we are. And I'll give you a little example before we close. In 1966, when Nkrumah was overthrown, a government was put in place. A gentleman by name KG Osebonso. He later became a minister in Buzia's government. He was a young lawyer. I was then a student. What I'm telling you now, if you Google it, you see. A statement was made by a journalist who was an editor of graphic then. I think the name is Cameron Dodo. I haven't seen him for years too.
Yeah, he's no longer in the country. He's in the States.
He criticized the South African government, which didn't go well with Buzia and his friends, because Buzia was trying to talk about some sort of unity with the government. And Cameron Dodo was against it. He was then the editor of graphic. He criticized the government seriously. And he was dismissed, just like that, without the knowledge of the minister responsible for information, who was KG Osebonso. And KG took his pen and wrote a letter of resignation.
And also resigned.
He resigned.
You sack my staff, I walk away too.
Yes. Not even you sack my staff, I walk away. You should have informed me at least. Did you follow me?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And when he sent his letter, the general could not believe it. The general was the head of state. So he called for him. Sebonso went.
What was
and
your...
he was trying to convince him to withdraw. I said, no. I still stand by what is on the paper. I don't think I can work with this government. And as such, I'm resigning. He's still alive.
What was your major challenge at the GFA as chairman of the association?
Challenge, you see, I felt by then the chairman the chairman of the FA had no powers. And it's one of the reasons.
Just like a rubber stamp?
Just like a rubber stamp. Those who have really got the powers at that time were the executive council. I'm telling you, I don't know how it is now.
Now it is the president who has the power.
So the only way to have that or change that was to elect the people. I brought the idea. So Kwesi was able to use, that platform, and he got elected. But I told him one mistake he made was to make the whole thing open in the sense that you can run any time you choose.
There should have been timelines?
There should have been at least 2 terms. 2 terms. Because if you stay at one place for a long time, it always creates problems. And that was his downfall. Very unfortunate. But he was one person who should have been the first Ghanaian to head FIFA, or first African to head FIFA. He was on his way, I'm telling you.
Were you sad when?
Oh, I was saddened. I was interviewed about it on several occasions. I talk about it. I was really, really saddened. Such a young, brilliant chap. And look at the sort of mess he went himself with. Being tricked by that man. What was his name?
Anas.
What was the name of that man?
Anas.
That Anas. I have never believed anything he says. I'm telling you, I've said it time and again. I don't care. Because if he were to be a good investigative journalist, he will keep whatever he has found to his chest and made it known to the public first before others in the society. But before he comes out, those whose names have been mentioned. For instance, he mentioned Akufo-Addo's name. He mentioned Bawumia's name. What do you expect them to do? They will find a way to cleanse themselves. And that's exactly what happened. But people cannot talk about it.
So in other words, he should have gone ahead to investigate those people too?
Absolutely. They should have been investigated. But rather, Kwesi Ntechi was handed over to the CID. Like a lamb to be slaughtered. And he was slaughtered. I mean, you mentioned such key people. If I had even been them, I would have come out and talk. You mentioned such key people. So what sort of investigation have you been doing? Can't you see that recently he's been challenged? I think his case with Kwesi is still in court.
Yes.
Because Kwesi said he wants to see his face. And he says no. We are waiting to see.
In the statement, he said he can choose to testify or otherwise because the chief, the person who was supposed to give the testimony is the late Ahmed Suale, so he can choose to testify or not.
He was saying that.
Yeah, that's what was.
Because Ahmed is no more alive.
But do you think that investigation has either helped football or it has destroyed football?
Believe me, it has destroyed football. Because there are people, me personally, I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him. I mean, look at other things he has got himself involved. We read about it every day. Huh? People's lands and properties. How can such a person be somebody that you can trust? That sort of investigation he says he's doing is nothing than robbery.
Doc, let's wrap up the conversation pretty quick. And I have two or three quick questions to ask. One of them has to do with the current leadership of the Ghana Football Association. What must we do to be able to reposition Ghana football to be very vibrant as it was many years ago?
I think it's quite a simple thing. Clubs must be properly organized. All the various clubs, they are not properly organized. That's one main thing.
Including your House of Folk?
Yes, to some extent. We are not at the level that we want to be. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Yes. And when the clubs are properly organized, the boys, the so-called managers of the boys, they should be kept aside. They are not destroying football. But these boys are not matured. And then they sell them outside. So then recently I was hearing about a boy who is going to Vietnam. What are you going to do in Vietnam?
He's going to make money.
With because of what? $1,700 a man. I mean, I can't understand.
But when he's here, he will not get that kind of money, Doc.
But look, we pay a lot of money in House of Folk now if you are a good footballer. I'm not bragging. I don't think there's any club.
Minimum, how much does House of Folk pay his players?
I say we pay a lot of money.
Minimum. Is it 2,000 cities? Is it 3,000 or 5,000 Ghana
We
cities?
pay a lot of money. You even ask the coach, why is everybody fighting to become a coach of a club? There are many things we give you, plus car and everything. No club can do it. And the money we give you. No club can do it. So people really fight to come. Recently, even when we advertise, you should have seen the number of people, local coaches.
So the appointment of your current coach was advertised?
Of course, we advertised all this.
So Koofman replied, he applied for the job.
They do. Look, there is a committee that talks to them. When you advertise, those, of course, you shortlist.
Yes.
Those we think.
You shortlist and you contact them.
Exactly. And then we have a Zoom discussions with them, those who are outside.
So what was that core thing that you considered in appointing Koopman as the head coach of House of Folk?
No, he has experience. Go and read his CV.
I have.
Yeah. And that's the type of coach we want now. A coach who can tell the footballer you are wrong and teach him the right thing to do. You follow me?
What target have you given to him?
Oh, target, he has to win his matches.
Winning the matches ultimately will translate to winning the league.
Win his matches and be able also to get the boys who the whole nation can be proud of. Look, Black Star, what the coaches are normally employed to come out with stars. But recently, nobody. But in Europe, they do it. They can even turn a striker into a defender.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He has a vision. He sees that this talent, if I think, will be better in this area.
Have we seen something like that here? Recently, when I made mention that Kotoko coach, what is his name?
The current coach?
The current coach.
Dr. Prosper Natogum.
Yeah, when they were struggling how to get a coach for the Black Stars. I say, look, this gentleman, the one who was appointed, what's his name? A coach for the Black Stars. Who doubles between
Otoado.
Otoado, yes, he has played football before. He has the knowledge about football. But when he was even put on the committee, he was not coming to meetings. So why on earth do you pick him? The other one, Boateng doesn't stay in this country.
George Boateng.
The other chap, who is now the coach,
Chris Hughton,
he doesn't stay here. I say, appoint the Kotoko coach. There's something in that man, because I've seen it. Then People started, especially House of Hosts,
Yes.
hey, how can I praise Kotoko?
So why did you appoint him for Heart of Oak?
Look, why wouldn't we appoint him?
Yes.
We have what we call foresight. Eh? We knew, we wanted to see how he would behave. And I wasn't surprised when he went back to Kotoko. And that has benefited us.
But did Heart of Oak consider him in the first place?
Absolutely. We had him in mind. Although we didn't, get in touch with him directly, we had it in mind. I personally had it in mind.
But you knew there was a likelihood that he would go back to Kotoko.
We knew. We had people who do serious investigative work for us. Serious one. Can't you see this when Asante visited their so-called new place where they have been Asante was so disappointed.
He said of all the things he's inherited in the Ashanti kingdom, it is Kotoko that is disgracing him.
You hear? Is it that I don't tell lies? Otufo was so much disappointed. I know him. In fact, he made me mention that when you kick a boy, you can land in somebody's house.
No, Kotoko has been in power within the last 4 years. So it will be October. Yeah, that will be there till the 4 years. What do you make of his administration?
No. Okreku, I remember I was interviewed by Graphic.
How come there?
The sort of phase we have come from, the phases we have passed through, where virtually there was no football in this country for a long time before before CAF appointed Kofi Amwa,
the nomination committee.
Yeah. And luckily, Okreku during the election time won it. Now, I can see that he's brought 1 or 2 changes, and there's stability and continuity in his administration. If he goes wrong, we have various sectors at the FA that he can be called to answer. So I don't believe a man who has been able to stabilize a boat that is in turbulent waters after having served just 1 term. After 2nd term, he's finished. He can't come again.
But they're working on reviewing the statutes to make it 3 terms.
So. No. That I would disagree with them. I will be the first to attack them. I will be the first. Then they want to behave like African leaders. If that is what is in his mind, then tell him he should stop it.
In fact, it has been done. It has been proposed.
It has been proposed. But that is all. I would definitely fight it. I'm telling you. They shouldn't behave like the African leaders. They sit there 1 year or 2 years, 2 terms, then later 3. The moment it goes to the 3rd year, somebody can come and make it 4 or 5. That is happening in a lot of African countries.
But the argument that I was privy to was the fact that if you take a look at FIFA says 3 terms. CAF says 3 terms. WAFU says 3 terms. So if Ghana is a member of these associations that all agree that a leader of the football family should do at least 3 terms, why is the Ghana Football Association deciding to do 2?
We have our own statutes.
But they want to be in sync with that of FIFA.
No. And they force it down. If the so-called executive committee forces it down down the throat of the football fraternity here, they will have a big trouble. Mark my words. The 2 terms should stay. One of the reasons why Kwesi Nyantakyi failed was that unlimited
term that he had.
I told him in the face. You follow me? They shouldn't get tempted at all FIFA, they have a reason why they have their own statute.
Yeah.
Other clubs have their own. The CAF itself have their. I'll say 2 terms, so it should be so. That's all.
In that interview, you said he should be maintained, and just right now, you said that he should be maintained because of stability. What is that one thing you think Kurt has done so well that you think, based on this, the football family should keep Kurt as president of the FA?
For 4 years, he's been able to handle the FA. 4 solid years. He's been able to play the league regularly.
Even in the midst of COVID
and all this.
And I remember he had like two challenges since he became GFA president. Yeah.
And that itself is a mark of somebody who can do well if he's encouraged. You follow me? So the fact that he's been able to handle, for me, that's the most important. You see, well, we came from very bad position.
Yes.
And for somebody to be able to stabilize the whole thing, and now things are running somehow proper, let him finish his term and get another term. But 3 terms, no.
3 terms, no.
Oh, no.
So it means that, is it a position, a personal position, or if we go to the Congress on September 27, House of Folk is going to vote for
so far, it's my personal position.
But House of Folk has not taken an official
position. We have not discussed it.
Okay.
We haven't discussed it.
That is well appreciated. So George Afriyie should not be interested in occupying the position of president?
Well, George Afriyie has been there before.
As vice president, not the leader.
Look, you have flown before in an aircraft.
I have, many times.
Many times. In fact, some airlines that fly long routes, not just the co-pilot.
The longest flight I've had was 18 hours.
Yes, 18 hours is good. At times they have 2 pilots and a co-pilot. When you are not the captain, you are not the captain. You are the second in command. Anything that the captain will say, you have to listen, no matter how good you are. You follow me? So I believe strongly that he was a co-pilot during Kwesi time. And when he allowed certain things to take place, some of the blames they are putting on Kwesi now, so the blames can be put on him for not coming out to talk about it. Do you follow me? So that in itself, to me, doesn't qualify him now. I won't say he is disqualified for life. No, doesn't qualify him now to come to the scene at all.
Wow, that's quite an interesting one.
Yeah, it doesn't qualify to come to the scene. But I believe strongly, if he rather teams up with the present leadership and they work in unison, it will be good for the country and for football in general. But
the claims are that the current leadership of the FA is not interested in bringing other members into the family. And in fact, one of the things people often use against the GFA president was the fact that he granted an interview and said that he will never work with his enemies. He will not win an election and bring his enemies to come and work. So some of the things people actually claim.
He said that.
Yes, he said it.
No, but you know, when you get to power newly, even in politics, you come out with all sort of statements.
In other words, he has learned?
You follow me?
Yes.
He has learned his lesson by now. And you see that in his, if it happens to get the next term, you do things differently.
Thank you very much, Doc.
It's a pleasure.
Very grateful.
Thank you also.
What an exhaustive conversation, and I appreciate the education. My guest on Prime Take tonight was Dr. Nyaho Nyaho Tamakloe. We appreciate your time.